Woo! Get up, and get amplified. And a good morning, or afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are catching this vid. I'm just glad you guys are along for the ride. Clearly, we're back in the office today. I know a lot of you guys have been clamoring to see the amplified man again. You wanted to see my mannerisms, my actual reactions. And I know we've been in audio form for a while now. And that's going to be the trajectory going forward with what's going on in the world especially. It's just easier for me to do. But every now and again, I like to come in front of the camera and make sure you guys are fully aware how much I appreciate all you guys, man. And that's from top to bottom, every single supporter of this channel. From the time I started this channel and nobody gave me a real chance, my boy JD had the market on lockdown. We had kind of similar styles, and you guys still gave me a chance. And what happened is I showed you guys I was the real deal. You guys never wavered in your support. And we are where we are today, man. Thousands of viewers every single video put out. And we're rising slowly but surely. The tube doesn't like to give me credit. The tube doesn't like to pump out my videos. The tube doesn't like to recommend my videos. But slowly but surely, we continue to climb that mountain. And it's a pretty tall fucking mountain. But with my unit, dude, ain't nothing impossible. You guys supported me from day one. I thank you. You guys supported me from day one when I had the crazy idea to start my own movie a couple years ago. And throughout all the issues that we've had, and there have been plentiful, we still continue to grind out. And I don't care if it's the year 2030. The movie that I am creating is going to be finished one way or the other. And it's not just because of what I'm doing. It's because of the support that you guys have shown me from day one. Whether it's this channel, my movie, or any other endeavor that I am doing in the world, man. You guys have never wavered in your support. I thank you so much. I know a lot of you guys thank me for thanking you oftentimes. But in all honesty, I don't thank you enough. Because that's something that needs to be said much more often. So allow me the chance, and I wanted to wait until I'm in front of the camera to tell you guys much love for anybody who has ever tuned into a vid, left a comment, smashed the like button, subscribe, press the little bell to be notified. That means so much because you guys know I never ask for that. I never ask anybody to subscribe. If you want to, if you love the Amplified Man and what he's doing, and you want to show support, then you subscribe. Same thing with pushing that little bell. If you want to smash the like button or leave a comment, I never ask you guys to do that. What you guys see is just what people want to do on their own to show that support. And that's what makes them a tried and true Amplified unit member. And I never ask for that shit, and I never will. So thank you so much. And always remember, guys, in life, everybody, every single one of us, we have those that want to see us succeed, right? We have supporters and we have haters. But always remember, 90% of the haters actually like you. They envy you. There's layers of envy and jealousy. They see you and there's a piece of them that wants to be in your spot, in your position. You have qualities that they don't have. And that's where haters stem from, 90%. The other 10%, they may actually be haters. You know how you know? They want nothing to do with you. You won't even hear from them because they just don't like you. When you have supposed haters and you hear about them or you hear from them often, they like you. That's called fans. They just, they can't comprehend why they keep tuning into your video, why they keep reading your blog, why they keep tuning into your content or reading social media posts or whatever it may be. They can't comprehend that they're spending all this time on you, not because they hate you. They're jealous as fuck for some reason or many reasons. 90% of your haters are fans. Always remember that, guys. 10% actually don't like you. You won't hear from them. So always remember, guys, you have those people that support you, and then you have those people that want to be you. And I always try to focus, always will focus on the people that support me. A lot of people in this world, they spend too much time on the negativity. They'll see 100 positive things about them and 1 or 2 things that somebody doesn't like, a critique, a negative remark. And after the 100 good things, they'll just reply to 1 or 2 bad things. That's a trait that human beings have to stop. That's bullshit. Start concentrating on all that positive shit. It's what I've founded myself on since I started this channel, and I always will. And that's why I always take the time to say thank you to all my Amplified Unit members. So, thank you for allowing me a few minutes. That's my opening monologue. Just thanking you guys, because you guys are fucking awesome. And I wanted to wait until I was back in front of the camera to tell you guys that. Now, we can get that sappy shit over with. All right, thank you for allowing me that time. SmackDown for May 1st, 2020. We've entered a new month. April was tough on all of us, I know. I can speak, I'm sure, for all of us in this world. April was tough. I'm hoping May is better for us all as far as what's going on in the world. And one little thing that helped the world become a better place last night on SmackDown was Sasha Banks. Damn! Did you catch Sasha Banks last night wearing those tight leather pants, the boob tube? Her skin was just looking like a finessed mocha frappuccino with extra whip. I mean, you just wanted to lick that shit from head to toe. Banks was on point last night. I mean, we already know she's smoking, but damn, that was another level. You damn better bet I'm going to touch up on that later in this review. We're also going to talk about Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Their little feud that we, at one point, didn't think we ever wanted to see. Now I actually don't mind. Sonya Deville took it to the next level last night. We're going to talk about that. Otis Mania? Otis is not just a singles competitor. It looks like he's getting a fucking push. And when I say push, I mean straight into the Money in the Bank ladder match in Stamford, Connecticut, May 10th. Which, by the way, WWE announced they're doing both ladder matches at once. If that doesn't pique your curiosity, whether you like that idea or don't, if that doesn't at least pique your curiosity, if you ain't gonna tune in just to see how the fuck they're gonna do that, you're lying to yourself. This is the SmackDown review for May 1st, 2020. Let me get another swig of coffee, and we're gonna get this thing rocking. Off with Bryan cutting a promo on his Money in the Bank ladder match set for May 10th. He says he doesn't even know the rules. Can he take the elevator to the top? Is there going to be catering? Is it true that Mr. McMahon has real dinosaur bones in his office? Bryan says, I don't know, but I'm excited. And in all honesty, guys, aside from the dinosaur bones in Mr. McMahon's office, I'm actually intrigued with this as well. For both ladder matches, the men's and the females, come May 10th. Again, both simultaneously will be being held. They're both going to be happening at the same time. Whether you think that's a great idea or not, a horrible idea or not, it's happening. It's something we've never seen before. We didn't mind the cinematic type matchup between AJ Styles and The Undertaker. So if you take that concept and you take it up another notch, another level, which is clearly what this is going to be, but you don't get cheesy with it. You don't take it to a corny level. You don't take it to a realm of unrealism that's really going to take us out of it. If they can somehow find the right recipe, this is going to be an awesome fucking meal. This is going to be something that could be enjoyable, guys. Honestly, I know a lot of people are shitting on this because at the surface, there's a lot to shit on. But, hear me out on this. This is something that if they dedicate the time and the effort, they put the creativity into it, this could be something very, very interestingly unique that actually captivates us for a good half an hour to an hour long at least. I feel like this is going to go. If it's 2 matches and they're both starting at ground level to work their way to the roof, this is going to be the better part of an hour. It better take some fucking care and creativity. A lot of thought better be put into this. But I'm intrigued by it. I am. Let me know how you guys... I mean, are you guys just totally just throwing this to the wayside? WWE hasn't earned your benefit of the doubt. They haven't earned your trust. You're not going to get your... you're not going to get your anticipation up there at all. In which case, I totally understand. Trust me, I'm with you on all of that. But this does pique my curiosity, man. It did anyway when it was just 1 match at a time. You're going to have 2 at a time going on? 12 motherfuckers just going at it, trying to get to the top? I like the concept. I do. I think this is just one of those ideas that just landed in the boardroom meeting with all the suits and ties and Vinnie Mac at the head of the table. I think this is just one idea that finally came out of somebody's dome piece, and they all sat there and were like, wow, this could work. Now leave it to WWE to ruin it, and that's what we're hoping doesn't happen. But that's my thoughts on it, guys. I haven't really jumped in headfirst with my true thoughts on this matchup. I kind of here and there talked about my feelings on it, but that's me dissecting it a little bit more. I love the original concept. I don't mind at all that both matches are going to be happening at once. That's probably the best way to do it, because once you see one of the matches, the lust and luxury is gone, right? You don't need to see the second match. You've already seen somebody work their way from ground level to the top. But when you have 2 matches going on at once, man, everything is new. Everything is fresh and unique. I think that's the way to do it. And if you're going to dedicate 1/3 of the program to that, I'm down with that. So that's my thoughts on it, guys. I'm going to give this a chance. And if they screw this up, the good, the bad, and the ugly, next Monday on the 11th of May, when I do that review for Money in the Bank, we are going to be fully amplified. Not in a positive way. So I'm hoping I can come in front of you guys on May 11th with that review, and I hope I'm in a good mood because we just saw something awesome. Don't hold your breath. This is Vince McMahon we're talking about, and he has to approve everything, all these creative ideas. But I'm looking forward to, if at nothing else, the concept itself. I see Jinder Mahal walking away with it. I think Mahal is going to somehow find his way into this thing come Monday, if he is in that last chance gauntlet match, because they took out Apollo Crews. They're inserting somebody else now. They're going to have, I believe, a last chance gauntlet match this Monday night. I think that's going to be Jinder Mahal to be victorious if he is in that gauntlet match, because then it makes sense Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre. I know, I'm not saying that's what all of you guys want to see. Don't hate the messenger here. I'm just telling you guys what it looks like might happen in storyline-wise, that after Seth Rollins, who else is Drew McIntyre really going to have? You're going to have the 3MB feud. 2 nobodies back in the day, and now look at them. 1 former champion and 1 current champion. That's going to be the story being told. Anyway, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm just trying to set up all the participants in this Money in the Bank ladder match. That's for the men. I see Jinder Mahal taking it. For the ladies, I'm not even gonna predict that, guys. The female roster is just like the tag team roster. You have talent, and the old man in Stamford somehow finds every single way under the sun to ruin it. The entire division could be so much better than what it is. So I don't even predict the ladies anymore. I just hope they put on a damn Dynamite show. The fact that Sasha Banks isn't on that show is absolute tragic. And I don't want to hear, BC, she might be at SummerSlam against Bayley. Some seeds have been planted. Yeah, I'm seeing those same seeds. That doesn't do anything for Money in the Bank. Sasha Banks has not won a singles match since November of 2019. No singles match victories. And she can't even get her way onto the Money in the Bank card. But we're hoping that months from now, 4 to 5 months from now, she'll be on the August SummerSlam card. Don't hold your breath, like I always say with the old man. He'll change his mind like that. A few years ago, we were supposed to get Bayley and Sasha for the title at WrestleMania. He changed his mind like that. Sasha Banks and Bayley were supposed to have a long tag team title reign. Changed his mind like that. That's the old man for you, dude. So, I don't know. We'll take this one day at a time, 1 week at a time, one event at a time. Money in the Bank, those 2 ladder matches, I'm down with. So anyway, that was the start of the program. Daniel Bryan just talking about Money in the Bank and how he's excited about it. He doesn't know what to expect, just like none of us do. On top of that, guys, Baron Corbin ended up coming down. Him and D-Bry ended up going back and forth on the mic before they actually squared off in the ring, because this was being built up as Daniel Bryan getting revenge for his friend Drew Gulak, who was beaten up by Baron Corbin the week before. Who cares? Baron Corbin versus Daniel Bryan. I'm interested in that match as I would be for a strawberry taking on a cucumber. There's no interest for me. I love seeing Daniel Bryan in the ring, but when there's no crowd at all, you're giving these two over 15 minutes of action, which is what they gave them. Usually I like longer matches, but when it's Daniel Bryan versus Baron Corbin in front of nobody, it didn't land for me to kick us off for SmackDown. It didn't give me that feeling of, oh, this is going to be a dynamite night. No pun intended to AEW. But that's what we kicked off with match-wise. Over 15 minutes of Baron Corbin versus Daniel Bryan. Now, as far as this match, again, I already said it went over 15 minutes, but it was all for nothing, because the finish of this thing just saw Baron Corbin disqualify himself when he used a ladder that was located around ringside. And then post-match, after Baron Corbin gets disqualified, so again, over 15 minutes for absolutely nothing, gets disqualified, Daniel Bryan wins the match, and then Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura come down for no reason at all, throw some kicks and some boots in on Daniel Bryan, and then Baron Corbin just takes over from there. So Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura were just the lackeys, the cronies to Sami Zayn for the last 2 months. Sami Zayn no longer wants to participate because of what's going on in the world, so he chose not to be on these shows. Cesaro and Shinsuke still wanted to be a part of the show, so what did they do? Instead of utilizing them singly and by themselves, which they should be, they threw them as lackeys and cronies to another individual. They just jumped from Sami Zayn to Baron Corbin. I find a problem with that because it's Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. This isn't like it's Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne. 2 guys that you could see at this stage would be lackeys and cronies. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, after all they've done in the wrestling business, they're just cronies to Zayn. And then when Zayn decides he doesn't want to show up, now they're just cronies to Baron Corbin. They literally just made a cameo. A couple of minutes of, not even, 60 seconds of punches and kicks in on Daniel Bryan, and then Baron Corbin takes over. Baron Corbin launches Daniel Bryan off the ramp into a bunch of ladders that were located off of the ramp to try to symbolize what could happen next Sunday at Money in the Bank. You know, somebody could be thrown off the roof is what Michael Cole was saying. I'm like, chill, relax a little bit. He just got thrown off the stage. Nobody's throwing anybody off a fucking roof. So that was the whole first half an hour plus of SmackDown. Daniel Bryan's little promo, and then Daniel Bryan versus Baron. Baron gets disqualified. Shinsuke and Cesaro make a cameo, and Baron Corbin is the last man standing when it's all said and done. Woo! What a banging show we have so far. No sarcasm at all. Braun Strowman is out next. He cuts a promo on Bray Wyatt. Wyatt interrupts with a Firefly Funhouse, and he tells a story of the shepherd and the sheep. Braun eventually, at the end of this story, I mean, the whole story was said before Braun wants to cut him off, but Braun eventually does cut him off and says he's done with story time. And that was pretty much it. That was the whole segment. Bray Wyatt tells a story. Braun says he's finished with storyline. Come out here and face me like a man, and that was it. And Bray's like, have a nice day. Not in McFoley, have a nice day, but, you know, goodbye, his Mr. Rogers, have a nice day. Listen, guys. You guys know I love Bray Wyatt. I can listen to Bray Wyatt tell a story for a half an hour if I have the time. No problem. But when you're just 9 nights away, because when that was filmed last night, it was 9 nights away from Money in the Bank, you have to really kick this feud into high gear. The story is resting in their lap. We already know the history behind these two. So that makes sense that these two are going to face. I think it's too early, but they're going to have them face at Money in the Bank. There's already a story there. I'm cool with that, but let's kick that into high gear. You only have 2 SmackDowns left before Money in the Bank. That was one of them. Now you're only down to 1 SmackDown left. And all you have is a story time and Braun Strowman's like, I don't like story time. I want to go to the back and have my brownie and Capri Sun. It totally missed the mark. And I love Bray Wyatt. This is not how this motherfucker... If you're going to put him with Braun Strowman, the Universal... Man, if Braun Strowman doesn't drop this title, they better rectify... And I hate hot potato. Braun Strowman just got this championship. But why? Because they hot potatoed it from Bray Wyatt to Goldberg. Just because they thought Roman Reigns was going to get the championship. Now it looks like Vince McMahon can't stand Roman Reigns. He won't even put him in the Make-A-Wish videos. So Roman Reigns is definitely on the outs. So Goldberg takes the championship from Bray Wyatt for no fucking reason. And then Braun Strowman takes the belt from Goldberg a month later. If this belt doesn't go back to Bray Wyatt and make everything fucking right, or try to rectify your wrongs, and you're telling me that Braun Strowman is going to walk out champion over Bray Wyatt after Bray Wyatt just lost like he did at Super Showdown, and then had that weird shit at WrestleMania, which I enjoyed, but it wasn't an actual legit match. So where's Bray's momentum if he can't even take out Braun? I don't know how they put themselves into a corner. They backed themselves into a fucking corner where they don't know what to do now, I bet. You can't have Bray walk out without the championship, and that character doesn't even need the title. He's like The Undertaker. Bray Wyatt's character doesn't need the championship. But they're in a pickle. There's no way he can walk out without the fucking strap because you booked him poorly over the last several months. Hope you guys are keeping track. I mean, I don't know where they go with this. And I know that this setup is not the way that I would have went. 9 nights before Money in the Bank, and you're going to have story time? Hour number 1 ends with Sheamus annihilating Leon Ruff. Post-match, just like the last several weeks, they went right to a Jeff Hardy redemption story. I think this was like number 4 in the series of like 100. And as I told you guys last week, man, I've had enough of these redemption stories with this dude. He's had 5 chances to change his life. Enough. No more talking about change. It's time to actually change. I've seen so many of these redemption stories over Jeff Hardy's career. He gets injured, he fucks up, he starts doing stupid shit while he's gone, he comes back and he says he's changed. We have a whole resurrection story. It's like a Bray Wyatt story time. Then he gets injured, he fucks up again, or he's still in contract, and then he starts fucking up on the outside. I don't even know. I just know that it's enough. We can talk about change all we want. You have to actually do it now. This is a grown man. Okay, a second chance, yes, we all deserve that. Third, okay, if you want to be generous. Fourth, you're stretching it. 5 different chances, dude. Now we're just enablers. His own life and others are on the line at that point if we keep enabling this shit. And WWE keeps welcoming back, and some fans are like, he deserves another chance. Does he? After 5 fucking times! When do you say, dude, we can't employ you anymore. You're a liability, not a reliability. I'm asking. If I'm running a company, you're not coming back after 5 stupid decisions like he was doing. You're not. I'll bring you back a second time, maybe, right? It depends on what the actual charges were. Third time, man, I mean, I have to have your word that everything is fucking kosher, because you're not going to make me look like a fucking idiot a third time. And then there wouldn't be a 4th time. 5 times, fuck that shit. But that's where the roster is, and that's where WWE is today. The name Jeff Hardy brings in some fucking fans, some fucking income, sells some shirts, so McMahon will bring them back. McMahon doesn't give a fuck about the actual human being anyway, I bet. He just hears the name and he's like, hey, yeah, you're the guy that jumps off the rope in unique ways. You can sell some t-shirts for me. Meanwhile, this guy's life was in a downhill spiral for the longest time. And every time he comes back, I see this fucking redemption story. It's tough love, guys. You guys know how I feel about Jeff Hardy, but Matt Hardy even more so. I love the Hardy Boys. Love them, I really do. As human beings, man, they're such good people. At some point, you gotta say you can't be employed if you're gonna continue this. How many chances can I fucking give you? Anyway, that's my thoughts on this whole redemption story bullshit. So when that ends, just like the last several weeks, Sheamus is looking over Michael Cole like he's just gonna wabaka him. And Michael Cole made the announcement that Hardy is returning next week. So Sheamus said, good, I'll be waiting for him. So it looks like this thing is full throttle. I don't know if they're going to rush this. If Hardy's returning next week on SmackDown, Are they going to rush this to Money in the Bank, this match, for just 2 nights? Because when he comes back next week, it's only 2 nights before Money in the Bank. I don't know if, I mean, that's really rushed, but that's something WWE would do. As of right now, there's only 5 matches on the card. Bayley versus Tamina for the SmackDown Women's Championship. The 2 ladder matches, which are going to take place at the same time. That's 3 matches. And then Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt for the title. And Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the title. Those are your 5 matches. Becky Lynch, as far as I know, isn't even defending her championship. She hasn't even been seen for the longest time. She's MIA. So it's something that they would do. Rush Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. Even without Jeff Hardy there for the last several weeks, he's already been in this storyline anyway. So maybe there's a chance they can do that. I don't know fucking know. I'm just done with this redemption shit. I really hope Jeff Hardy really changes his fucking life, you know. I've been there, too. This is somebody who's not just preaching and doesn't know what he's talking about. I've been in the same shoes that Jeff Hardy has been in for years. You know, I was down in the dumps, man. I hit rock bottom. I had no choice but to turn it around. I didn't make the same mistake 2 or 3 times. You know, you gotta learn from that shit. And once you're over the age of 21 years old, I'll give you the 21 to fuck up. But once you're over 21, you gotta start maturing. You just have to. Hour number 2 starts with a women's Money in the Bank qualifier. Mandy Rose versus Carmela. Just a 5-minute match. Sonya Deville hit the top of the ramp during this and caused a distraction. Carmela hits a super kick and defeats Rose. Post-match, Sonya proceeded to assault Rose. Easily the most vicious that we've ever seen out of Sonya Deville. So not only does Mandy Rose lose to Carmela, Carmela goes to Money in the Bank next Sunday. But add insult to injury, when Mandy Rose lost, she ended up getting her ass whooped by Sonya Deville. And again, this was a vicious Sonya Deville. Sonya went ballistic and Mandy was rocked. Both ladies played it off really good in a feud that I didn't think I needed to see just a few weeks ago. I liked the whole Otis and Dolph storyline, but I didn't need to see Sonya and Mandy Rose at all. That's a bathroom break, easily. But now after last night, my curiosity has peaked a little bit. I'm intrigued a little bit here. Sonya Deville, I'm starting to see something out of her I never thought was even in her. Mandy Rose has been excelling over the last several weeks and even months, so that's damn good to see. They took it to social media afterwards, where Mandy Rose showed a picture of her leg all bruised up from the beating that Sonya gave her. And Mandy Rose captioned it with, "I took your best beating and that's all I got was this big bruise. I'm still walking," basically. And Sonya Deville ended up catching wind of that, and she responded saying, "It's just the beginning, Barbie. More to come." I like this side of Sonya. This is the best thing that could have happened for her. And you guys know I'm loving the Otis and Mandy thing. You know, it's good to see that something that started out as a good story and actually evolved. It didn't devolve, right? It didn't just dismantle. The story that started off good actually got better. That doesn't usually happen lately in WWE, and by lately I mean years. But it's good to see that evolve and then stay consistent. Loving this shit, man. Between all these individuals, including Otis and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler cut an awesome promo later in the night before his Otis main event too, man. I'll talk about that in a minute. But mad props to Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose last night. That was absolutely some good stuff. Absolutely. It's good shit. The New Day took on the Forgotten Sons next, non-title match. This is just a catastrophic mistake in every which way you can imagine it. You wonder why the tag division is abysmal. The Forgotten Sons just arrived a few weeks ago. Why are they already facing the New Day? No care whatsoever is put in to the long term with this company. It's ludicrous. Miz and Morrison are on commentary here. This was a good match throughout, obviously. Another reason it should have been saved for a pay-per-view. Instead, we'll end up seeing this rematch, and probably many other, in future pay-per-views. But this was a decent match. This was actually a good match, and that's what we thought it was going to be. And the Forgotten Sons just got there a few weeks ago. Why not prolong this into a good storyline, a good feud, and then at a pay-per-view, even at SummerSlam, you have the Forgotten Sons versus the New Day. Build up the Forgotten Sons. Just a few weeks into their main roster career and they're already taking on the New Day. Well, then where do they go from there? You guys see what I'm saying? Okay, they already beat the New Day last night. What's next? They've only been in the company less than a month. Who's after the New Day? They're the champions. You're going to go to the Usos? Miz and Morrison? They've already reached the pinnacle. There's nothing left for the Forgotten Sons other than to actually get the titles now. It's ludicrous. People wonder why I bitch, moan, and complain, and I have to say these things. Well, because it doesn't make sense. Build up the Forgotten Sons, so in time, once they're built up, and they take on the champions or a tag team like the New Day, it's a big moment. It's a big match. There's a big fight feel. Last night, they just called it out. Yeah, Forgotten Sons versus New Day. What the fuck? The numbers game played a factor late in this one. There is 3 members of New Day, but of course Xavier is still at home playing video games for his YouTube channel. The Forgotten Sons have all 3 members out there. So the numbers game did play a huge factor in the end of this, causing a little bit of the distraction. And the Forgotten Sons were able to defeat the New Day. I believe it was Big E that was pinned. So again, they've already reached the pinnacle. They beat the tag team champions, and you know what this means. Now they're going to get a tag team title opportunity, probably at Money in the Bank. So to get title opportunities these days, you just have to you beat the champions. Back in the day, when I was growing up watching wrestling, everything made sense. You worked your way up. You were built up. And then once you were a proven @1 contender, then you got to face and fight the champion at a big pay-per-view for the title. These days, you get a title match or at least a match with the champions, and if you beat them, or even if you don't beat them these days, you still end up getting a title fucking match. Nothing makes fucking sense. Forgotten Sons defeat the New Day. Already. I can't believe I'm already talking about this. Sasha Banks, I have to talk about this. I know this was just like a 60-second segment backstage, but I have to talk about this. I already kind of touched up on it at the beginning of this vid. She came into frame when Tamina was getting interviewed, and I mean, Sasha had these tight leather pants on. She's wearing the red boob tube. Her skin is just silky smooth. I mean, you just want to eat a fucking whipped cream strawberry off that shit. You want to lick that girl from head to toe, going over every curve that you possibly can, circulate that shit, work your way down. I mean, you just wanted, she was, we say Sasha Banks is beautiful, but this is next level, right? I mean, I don't know what she was doing, but she was fucking on point. Fucking A. Her little husband there. Who's this fucking guy? He like makes the costumes and shit backstage. I think he was a failed wrestler, correct? Or he tried wrestling. He wasn't good at it, so Vince gave him he fucking makes costumes, I think. And Sasha Banks was like, hey, I think you're cute. So, best to him, man. I ain't hating. I don't player hate, man. If he's laying in bed with Sasha Banks every night, there's no player hating. Congrats to that fucker. He may have failed as a wrestler. Maybe he had an injury or some shit. I don't know. I just know he's not wrestling anymore. He's making their outfits and costumes and shit. But that might not have worked out for you. But dude, you get to date. You get to be with. You are married to Sasha fucking Banks, dog. Mercedes. You hit the lottery. After how she was looking last night, if this dude's making the costumes backstage, I'd be fucking like my sewing machine would be going off the fucking board. I'm fucking that? I have sex with that? It's awesome, man. Sasha was on point. I just can't, I can't fucking believe that this girl was, I mean, she entered frame and I was like, oh, I mean, this is a pro Sasha Banks channel anyway, but I was like floored. Anyway, shall we move on? The segment was like 60 seconds. My review of it's like 6 minutes. We love Sasha Banks though, man. She was looking on point last night. Just awesome. You know, we talk about Zelina Vega over on Mondays. Sasha Banks has Friday nights locked down. This led us into our, oh, by the way, there was a big brawl too. Sasha kind of set up Tamina, where Bayley came in, they both jumped Tamina, and then Lacey Evans got involved. And this was a pretty badass little prison-type brawl. And then this sets up we don't need to see this. Sasha Banks in another tag team match, but we're going to see Sasha and Bayley next Friday night, the go-home show to Money in the Bank. Sasha and Bayley are going to take on Tamina and Lacey Evans. We saw that coming. Is what it is. Hey, man, as long as I get to see Sasha, I'm fucking good. Dolph cuts a fantastic promo after this backstage with Sonya Deville right next to him. This was backstage, not in the middle of the ring. No Charlie Caruso's or Tony Braxton's or anybody. Tony Braxton, is that her name? No fucking interviewers. This was just Dolph in the zone cutting a fucking Ziggler-esque promo. And if you guys don't know, Ziggler can cut epic promos. That's not where he fails at all. He's a good wrestler. He can cut good promos. He had many chances to be a huge star in this business. They just fucked him up. But he cut an awesome promo about him and Otis's match later to come and what he's going to do Money in the Bank. And it's just, man, Dolph is so believable. I wish they did right by him a lot more during his prime, you know, and he's not totally out of the prime, but his best days, I think we can say, are done. And I think when it's all said and done, we all can agree Dolph should have had a lot more in his career. We go into the main event, which again, the aforementioned Dolph Ziggler versus Otis. The winner is going to claim a spot in the Money in the Bank men's ladder match May 10th. Otis fought his heart out in this match, and you know what? It was good enough. Otis actually won this match with the Caterpillar elbow. But Dolph Ziggler put on a Ziggler-esque performance. Otis just didn't quit. There was many times in this match I thought Otis was done. I mean, you could see that he was gassed. And I got so invested into this match because I started vicariously living through Otis. And I was kind of like, dude, you're done. You're winded. Dolph is too good. Just, I mean, I got into this thing. I was like, Otis, just keep your shoulders to the mat, dude. This is Dolph's. Otis never gave up. Otis found his second win late in this thing with the Caterpillar elbow, which failed earlier in the match. The Caterpillar elbow failed. The second time was the charm, and he nailed that shit, and it was Dolph who couldn't get his shoulder off the mat. Dolph Ziggler gets pinned. Otis Mania is running wild on SmackDown. Otis is going to Money in the Bank in that ladder match. I don't even want to picture Otis on top of a fucking Stamford, Connecticut high-rise. This motherfucker better be fucking, he better have a bungee cord or something better be attached to him, latched onto. He better be harnessed to something. Otis on top of a building doesn't sit well with me, but I love him in that spot. I would have been okay with either one, Dolph or Otis here, man, because Dolph knows exactly what to do in these type of ladder matches. But Otis in this ladder match, working his way from the ground floor all the way to the top, Otis is going to provide a lot of fun in this match. Not just comedy, man. He's going to do some ass whooping as well. But Otis is going to add so many layers to this matchup that already has me intrigued. This climb your way up the corporate ladder match May 10th. So that was SmackDown. Otis Mania was running wild and we went off the air. So we are now 8 nights away from Money in the Bank. We'll go to Monday Night Raw for their go-home show in just a couple of nights. Their main event, I believe, is going to be the Last Chance Gauntlet match. That'll cement the last participant into the ladder match. I believe they're going to insert Jinder Mahal into that role. We'll see. They're also advertising Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders. That was originally supposed to be a title match. That is now a non-title match. I wonder why. Just like the Forgotten Sons and New Day, I bet you they're going to have the Viking Raiders defeat the Street Profits. And then and then they're going to have a title match at Money in the Bank because they beat the champions. I bet you. I mean, I already see this happening. They're like, why do the title match now? We'll have them beat the champions and then have the matchup at the pay-per-view at that point 6 nights later. I mean, I can see what they're doing a mile away. And when you take away that type of suspense, that type of shock, that type of surprise, and it's none of those things time after time, that's how an audience becomes bored of the redundancy. Let me know if you guys enjoyed SmackDown or not, guys, down below. It was what it was. We have one more SmackDown to go. That's the go-home show next Friday. And then again, Money in the Bank. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly review will be the next morning, Monday the 11th, so be on the lookout for that as well. And again, just like I started this vid, I want to say it again. Thank you to every single one of you that support not just the Amplified Man, but the channel as well. You guys, fucking rock stars, man. Much love always. Think, be, live. Amplified.